Did you miss me? So for this past month, I've been on sort of a hiatus of, well, pretty much everything. I've basically just been laying in bed watching Netflix. I haven't been reading, I haven't been writing, I've been working, but that's because I have to, so I can't really do anything about that. But I've had a good reason. It has been mostly because of this guy, or girl, or whatever it is. We don't actually know yet. So for now, it is just a little jelly bean. Also this month we've been moving. I don't know if it really matters that I'm in a new location because it's not like you've ever actually seen my house anyway. But so now I don't have a cave anymore, so that's kind of sad. But I'm not going to rename my channel because I don't want to. So it will be my figurative book cave, I guess, and I'll just have to find a new place to film. I do have my bookcase up, but it's in a really weird spot. It's back there. And there's not a whole lot of room to put a camera, so I decided to film on my bed this time. So yeah. So because I didn't do any filming last month either, I'm pretty far behind on a lot of stuff. So I guess in this video I will do my March wrap-up and my April, not TBR, that wouldn't make any sense. My April wrap-up too, I guess. So that's what I will do now. So there you go. Alright, so I will start with my March wrap-up, I guess. So the first book that I read in March was Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This book was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's really different than what I normally read. I usually read like young adult books, and I thought, I guess you could call this one a young adult book, although the characters in it, they're adults by the end of the book. But it was really good. I really liked it. I loved the author's writing style, and I loved just the story and the imagery that came with reading it and the descriptions, and it was just a really great book. The next book that I read was an ebook actually, and it was Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I actually did like a full review for this book, so I will link that in the description below. And you will hear my thoughts about it. I think I gave this one like a 3.5 or something like that, mostly because I didn't like the first half of the book. Well, okay, it's not that I didn't like it, it's just that I felt like I've read it before in several books, but like the second half of the book was really good, so I really liked that. So I am going to read the other ones. After that book, I read Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This read is long overdue. I originally tried reading the ebook a long time ago, and I for some reason just couldn't get into it, but so I decided to try again with the hardcover, and I really liked this book. I think I gave it a 4.5 or a 4 out of 5 stars. It doesn't take much for me to rate books really well. I just really liked the writing. It wasn't like super intricate or anything, it was just a really easy read. And I really liked the story, and I liked how the author adapted from the original, and just there were elements from the original, the Cinderella story, that were in this. It was just really cleverly done. I haven't started on any of the other ones yet. I've heard some pretty mixed things about Scarlet, so I'm a little reluctant to read it, but at the same time, I want to be able to form my own opinion on it, so maybe I will read that one for May, but we'll see. So after Cinder, I read The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton, and this book was really good. I read this one kind of on a whim because I bought it because Raylene over at Padfoot and Prongs 07, I think it's called, she read it, and I thought, I was just captivated by the cover because it's just a really cool cover. So I bought it, and then like as soon as I got it, I read it. It wasn't even on like my TBR or anything for that month. So yeah, it didn't take me long. It took me like less than a day to read the whole thing. It was really good. The writing was very poetic, and it was just the strangest book probably that I've ever read. It was really great, and I would recommend it. And I think I gave this one 5 out of 5. This was a month of good books for me, I guess. I really enjoy like the writing style and like kind of how dark it is, but also how hopeful it is, and I don't know. Anyway, I just really like this book. And I didn't read any more after that for March because I started feeling sick and I just didn't want to read. I wanted to watch Iron Chef and Good Eats and all those fun cooking shows, which is kind of funny because usually like food would, you know, make you more nauseous, but it actually didn't. I like cooking shows. They're probably my favorite type of shows. But anyway, this is not about cooking shows, this is about books. So now I will move on to my April wrap-up. So in April, like I said, I didn't get a whole lot done. This last month has not been a productive one for me. There was a lot of sleeping involved in this last month. But I did manage to listen to one audiobook. I listened to Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I've heard so many different ways of saying her name, so I don't really know. I did see the movie before I listened to the book, and I really loved the movie, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to listen to the book. But I really liked the voices, like the narrators, because there's two, because there's one that's from Amy's point of view and there's one from Nick's point of view, and I think they both did a really good job in their parts of the books. The movie did a really good job in keeping pretty close to the book. There was a lot of swearing in it, but it's about adults. That's another thing, is another not young adult book that I really enjoyed. So there you go. I don't remember what I gave the book on Goodreads, but it was a higher rating, I think. Maybe I didn't even get a rating. I don't know, but I really did enjoy that one. And that one was easy enough for me because I was able to listen to it on the way to work and on the way back and at work. So the next one that I read was an ebook, and that was The Selection by Kiara Cass. I just bought on a whim because it was, I think, 99 cents or $1.99 on Amazon. There was like part of the Kindle deal thing. So I just bought it because I know that a lot of people have enjoyed it, and I really, really liked it. It was really like a mix between the Lux series by Anna Godbersen and the Hunger Games. And I know there's so many like dystopian caste system books out there right now, and I was kind of reluctant to start reading this one just because I was like, this is gonna be the same as Matched and Delirium and, you know, all those books, but I really did enjoy it. It was really good, and I really loved that while it was in the future, it still had a sense of like, it was almost like historical fiction, like royalty and like the dresses and just the whole culture, I guess. It was just really good, and I am planning on reading the rest of the series because it's no longer a trilogy like I thought it was. But yeah, I don't know when I'll get to those because I have other series that I want to read that I have all of the books of. But yeah, I really liked that one. That was a good one. And then the final book that I read in April, I read in less than a day, and that was On Writing by Stephen King. I did draw a little paper out of my TBR jar at the beginning of April, even though I didn't film it, and it was actually reading a nonfiction book, so that's why I picked up this one. I actually really wanted to pick up this one. I was hoping that I would get the nonfiction one because I've just heard so many great things about this book, and I've never really read anything by Stephen King, and I know that this isn't really like a Stephen King novel because it's nonfiction, but I think I got kind of a taste of his writing style, and I really like it. So after watching Ariel Bossett's video on like annotating books, I decided to just go with it and do it. So there are several pages that like I highlighted a lot of stuff in and wrote little notes in, and so now I can go back and like use this as a reference for my writing. And so, but anyway, yeah, I really love this book. There were actually a few parts in it that made me choke up, which is kind of funny because I'm not a crier, a reading crier, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I get the feels, but I guess I'm just not as emotional as maybe some other people are when they're reading books. So yeah, it was just really funny that a nonfiction book would make me like tear up. I don't know. Anyway, so I really love this one. I gave this one a definite 5 out of 5 stars, and I will be keeping this close at hand for whenever I'm writing and all that fun stuff. Alright, so that is my March and April wrap up. I apologize for not really doing any videos last month, but I feel like I had a pretty good reason. So yes, I hope that you guys would forgive me, and I hope that you will continue to watch my videos, and I promise I will film more now. Now that the worst part is out of the way, I will be doing a lot more filming now, and now that we've moved and have things sort of figured out, I'll be doing more filming. So with that, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day, night, time, whatever. Bye! It's going down. I'm yelling, Cinderella, didn't move. You better dance. Thanks a lot, Jessie. So for this path month, alright, so I will start with my March. My dog is making noises.